Howdy Cloudies, it's Hi. Not yet, sweetie. Okay, 1 second. Howdy Cloudies, it's Quinn in the Clouds, and I'm Scott. You know what? I'll tell you when it's time, okay? Alright, I'm so sorry. So as a lot of you probably know, I am a huge MBTI nerd. MBTI being the Meyers-Briggs type indicator, which is at the moment one of the best and most accurate ways to determine personality in a scientific or psychological sense. Now hold up, I hear you saying, Quinlyn, those tests are BS. And I already made an entire video about why you're right. The tests are pretty bad, especially the ones that only go by the letters and not about the functions. So if you want to watch that one first, you can. You don't have to though. I'll put a link in the card and in the description. But one thing that I neglected to answer in that video was how accurate are the functions tests? I know that they're probably, my hypothesis is that they're going to be a lot better than the MBTI tests that go just by letters, like the 16 personalities tests and things. But I guess we're gonna see. I'm taking this off. So since I've already taken a lot of the tests and I'm a little bit biased and I'm already a huge MBTI nerd and I know what my type is and everything, what I have done is I have gotten an alien. That's me, right? Yes, Sky, you, but just hold on a second, okay? So what I've done is I've taken an alien, well, let's say borrowed. I've borrowed an alien and injected it with a concentrated serum of my personality. But they're going to be taking the tests for us today. All right, say hi. Yes, now, say hi, Sky. Okay. Hi, Sky. Okay. Now really quickly, we're gonna have to do a test to make sure that they actually have my personality. Okay, so here we go, I'm ready. Hi, Ready, I'm Dad. Okay, yeah, that's me, that's my humor. Okay, let's go, woo! Okay, we're starting, okay. Okay, so first up we have the 16 personalities test, which is the most common one you see people taking all around the place. You find it difficult to introduce yourself to other people. Because I've got all Quinlyn's memories too. But I definitely used to be able to just like run up to people and introduce myself and just be like, hey, you're my friend now. Ta-da, we're friends. But now it's a lot harder because woohoo, social anxiety. Okay, I'm good at introducing myself to other people if there's an actual situation for it, which isn't that often, so I'm gonna go with, yeah, mildly agree. You often get so lost in thoughts that you ignore or forget your surroundings. All the time. You do not usually initiate conversations. See, it depends on the situation. It depends. If I'm in a situation where it's like you're supposed to be talking to each other and such, then yeah, I'll be able to like talk. But if it's just like walking up to a stranger in the middle of nowhere and just being like, hi, let's have a conversation, then no, I'm not great at that. You rarely do something just out of sheer curiosity. Disagree. I always do things out of sheer curiosity, all the time. Winning a debate matters less to you than making sure no one gets upset. Well, it depends on what it is. If the person's getting upset because they're like some racist or homophobic, sexist jerk, and they're getting upset because I'm winning and I'm proving them wrong, then no, I don't give a shrom what they think. Yeah, I don't give a shrom. It's a method of currency back where I live. You often feel as if you have to justify yourself to other people. Yeah, like all the time. Your home and work environments are quite tidy. Disagree. That's easy. You don't mind being at the center of attention. Depends on the situation. You consider yourself more practical than creative. Nah, I'm way more creative than practical. What is practicality? I don't know her. Your travel plans are usually well thought out. What travel plans? I haven't been in charge of my own traveling plan ever. But if I were to, then I would probably be pretty planned out and have like a whole bunch of charts and like tables and all these different things, but it'd be a very disorganized organization. In a discussion, truth should be more important than people's sensitivity. It depends though, because it's like there are people who are total jerks and will be like, well, it's the truth when they tell someone like, oh, you're butt ugly, and like insulting them and stuff. But just because that's the truth doesn't make it right for you to say it like that. There should be a balance. You should be able to be diplomatic with your words while also not straying from the truth. Your work cycle is closer to random energy spikes than to a methodical and organized approach. Heck yeah. Hizzity heck yeah. I just get spikes of energy and do things, and then methodical and organized, bleh, I can't do that. What? I guess, sure, but not in an envious way that's like, ugh, I'm so jealous. More in just like a way that's like, I want that, I can go after that, let me do the thing. An interesting book or video game is often better than a social event. Depends on the book and video game, it depends on the social event. If I'm being invited to a party where I don't know anyone and I'm gonna be the only one there that I know, then yeah, reading a book or playing a video game would be A+. But if there's people that I'm gonna know there, at least like 1 or 2 other people, then I'd rather go to the party because I don't get as many chances to do that, and I can play video games or read a book any old day. You rarely get carried away by fantasies and ideas. All the time. I all the time get carried away by fantasies and ideas, not rarely at all. You often find yourself lost in thought when you're walking in nature. You could just stop it there. You find yourself lost in thought all the time. But yeah, I do sort of tend to worry that something's wrong, but not too much because I do that to people too sometimes on accident. I just don't get around to answering things that quickly. I get distracted by things and then completely forget. Sorry everyone. As a parent, you would rather see your child grow up kind than smart. Heck yeah. Would you rather have like an evil mastermind, like a person who's smart but a douche, or would you rather have a kid who's not the smartest but is actually like kind and a good person? Duh. Your dreams tend to focus on the real world and its events. No, my dreams are all whimsical and all over the place crazy. Natural improviser and a careful planner. Yep. You often spend time exploring unrealistic and impractical yet intriguing ideas all the time. You are a relatively reserved and quiet person. It depends! You often contemplate the reasons for human existence. Heck yeah. You rarely feel insecure. Ha ha! It happens all the time. You have no difficulties coming up with a personal timetable and sticking to it. Disagree. I do have issues with that. Although I'm better at doing that for myself than I am than if other people do it for me. You think that everyone's views should be respected regardless of whether they are supported by facts or not. I think everyone's views should be listened to. I feel like everyone should be heard and respected for the fact that that is their position. But the second that opinion or whatever actually hurts a human being or is discriminatory or just bad and wrong in a way that's just morally upsetting, then I don't think that has to be respected. I don't have to respect someone for saying that gays are going to go to hell or things like that. So, no, I don't think everyone's views should be supported. You feel more energetic after spending time with a group of people. I feel energetic while spending time with a group of people. Afterwards, I feel kind of drained, but then again, I feel drained when I'm not with people too. I'm gonna go like that. You frequently misplace your things. Yep. You see yourself as very emotionally stable. Nah, your mind is buzzing with unexplored ideas and plans all the time. Why wouldn't they just phrase this as you would call yourself a dreamer? So disagree. No, I would not call myself double negatives. You worry too much about what other people think. Sometimes, yeah. Okay, I think this is the last page. Hope it's the last page. Who doesn't feel anxious in stressful situations? Well, I mean, I guess I'm kind of good under some pressure. I don't know. Oop, here we go. Results. INFPT. So it seems like I'm kind of like right between introverted and extroverted, and that I'm, 95% intuitive. So I'm definitely an N. Thinking versus feeling is also kind of half and half, but more feeling. And then judging and prospecting. See the verdict. Okay, Quinlyn, are we an INFP? Nope, not the right type. Also, ignore the T at the end because that's just something that this one quiz decided to add on, and it is actually has nothing to do with what your type is. The 4 letters are your type. The last letter, ignore it. That's not a real thing. Same goes for the titles. Certain websites like to apply certain titles, like mediator or champion, to different types. But no, the name of your type is the name of your type. There is no definitive name for your type. That's just something that different places make up different names for the types just to make it easier, but that's inaccurate. Okay, so I guess this quiz got it wrong. Moving on to the next one. Okay, I might speed through some of these a little bit just so that we can get through these and it won't be the longest video ever. Yes to number 8. Guess that's why they call me chaotic good. It's difficult to get you excited. No, I get excited pretty easily. Well, it depends on the thing. Somewhat reserved and distant in communication. Yeah, sometimes. I'm a really open person, but I'm also really reserved. I'm a contradiction. Well, when I say I really mean Quinlyn, because this isn't my actual personality. My personality is asleep in that pillow over there. General principle behind specific occurrences. I see many different possible general principles behind a lot of specific occurrences. You find it difficult to speak loudly. No! You tend to sympathize with other people. Yeah! Of course everything can be analyzed. Not even just almost everything can be analyzed. Anything can be analyzed. I overanalyze and overthink everything. Thirst for adventure is something close to your heart. Yes! I am a thunderbird, as Quinlyn told me. When considering a situation, you pay more attention to the situation and less, no, I always go to the sequence of events. If I'm thinking of a situation, I'm like, what could happen here? And then that could happen to this, or it could go like this, and then each of those could branch out like this. No, everything worries me. You easily perceive various ways in which events could develop. Yes. Score it. Time to see. INTP. Last one was INFP. This one says INTP. So it says I'm slightly more an introvert than an extrovert. Okay. Definitely an intuitor. So the N is very constant. It appears that I'm N no matter what. Marginal or no preference versus thinking and feeling. Wow, I only have 3% more thinking than feeling on this one. And you have moderate preference of perceiving over judging. Okay. Quinlyn, INTP. Is that the right one? Also not the right type. Darn. Not going so well for these quizzes. John's personality test. Okay, Quinlyn told me this is one of her favorites because this one apparently tells you the top 4 or 5 types that you could be and the percentages that you scored for each of those. So that way it's not just telling you this is what you are, it's telling you these are the ones that you could be, which I think is neato burrito, even if it's not the most accurate one. And here's a little pie chart. Ooh, it's got different things. Independence, security, experience, precision, self-sufficiency, popular inspiration, efficiency. Oh my goodness, gracious golly galoshes, there's a lot. Okay, social interaction comes to you with effort. You are better at learning abstract concepts for sure. Ooh, the pie chart is changing. It's frustrating when other people don't consider others' feelings or the facts. Both. It's frustrating when people who don't consider the facts or the feelings. Skip. Oh, you can skip. I like to think that I'm pretty impartial. I don't know. When you make plans, you follow them consistently. No. Being a new person, you must first try to probe how he thinks or connect to his emotions. I think first I'd probe how he thinks because I don't really want to get too much into the emotional stuff right off the bat. You favor the path that is more unconventional. Small groups, you are one of the most talkative, or well, in small groups, I'm pretty darn talkative, and by myself, I'm pretty talkative, as you can see. But when it's a big group, then I'm usually a little bit more, I'm gonna step back and be a little quieter, but I'm gonna go with small groups, I'm one of the most talkative. You tend to speak rather literally or figuratively. Ooh, the biggest one so far is exploration. That sounds like fun. Would you rather rely on careful plans or improvisation? I'd rather rely on the careful plans. Are you more imaginative or imaginative? I think it's worse to be stuck in your ways, because if you're scatterbrained, which I am, then you're all over the place. But if you're stuck in your ways, then it's kind of like, you know, you can't change your mind on anything, and that sucks. Stuck in your ways. Ooh, now that one's the biggest. Intimacy. Sounds sexual. You prefer to set goals that are flexible, even uncertain, or well-structured? Flexible. Describe yourself as more open or private? Open! Ooh, that's getting all divided now. Inspiration. Ooh, I want that one. Lying up at night, are you remembering the events of the day or being struck with brand new ideas? That one. It's more natural for you to be wary of situations or see the good in everyone. That's interesting because I definitely do both of those way too much. I am way too skeptical of things, way too untrusting, and too, like, you know, trying to, like, think of all the possible worst in every situation or every person. But then I also try to see the best in every person, and then I end up disappointed because I think of the best in every situation could possibly be. I think it's more natural for me to see the good in people. Do you perform better under pressure? I don't like to, but it's not that I saw this written about ADHD once, because I have that, or we have that. It's not that I perform better under pressure, it's that I just don't perform unless I'm under pressure, which is kind of relatable, so I'm gonna go with yeah. You sometimes have difficulty explaining feelings. Who doesn't? Are you more systematic or spontaneous? Ooh, it's the last question. Spontaneous. You're a tough one. Let me ask 5 more questions. I'm a tough one, apparently. I'm special. You're more likely to be too trusting. I just talked about that. Too trusting or too skeptical. Skip? Can I skip? Yay. You afford novels that are powerful and empathetic, clever, thought-provoking. Why not both? Why can't you have powerful, empathetic, clever, thought-provoking novels? That's what I want. Skip. Picking a restaurant you care more about your friend's opinion or rating and certain reviews. Your friend, because then you can actually ask them how it is. Ratings and reviews can be so biased. Prolonged socializing is more often exhausting or energizing. Depends on how prolonged it is. I guess exhausting. At home, you put more effort into tidying up or decorating. Decorating. Okay, so it says that my possible types are ENFP, ENTP, INFP, INTP, and ENFJ. Okay. Quinlyn, are any of those right? Yes! One of those is the correct type for us. Yes! Good job. You guessed 5 out of 16 and you got one of them right. Okay, so those weren't very decisive. A lot of them weren't accurate. The only one that was right got 5 guesses at it. So now let's try with the actual quizzes that have to do with functions and try to type you based on that. Let's go! Okay, functions. So apparently these are supposed to be more accurate. So let's see. Okay, read each of the phrases. Indicate how often you do skillfully what the phrase describes. I don't know if I do anything skillfully. So number 1, freely follow your gut instincts and exciting physical impulses as they come up. Mostly me, but mostly me. Offer various unrelated ideas and see what potential it might suggest. Yes! I don't think I've ever had premonitions or seeing the distant future. Enjoy playing with random interconnections and patterns all the time. Recognize and usually adhere to shared values, feelings, and social norms to get along. No, not really. Just because something is one way doesn't mean that that's the best way. I don't know. I wouldn't just conform in order to keep the peace, you know? Why are so many of these, like, about being psychic? Is that a personality thing? Like, gain a profound realization from a mystical state or sudden release of emotions. Is that... These questions that are about seeing the future and things are trying to be representative of the function NI, introverted intuition, but that's not at all how that function actually works. Just take it with a grain of salt, because this one quiz seems to be good, except for the way that it perceives NI. Keep following tangents and new ideas without limiting yourself to one. Exactly me. Follow a straight line of reasoning. Nah, mate. This one reminds me of Mulan. Evaluate what's worth believing in and most important to who you really are inside. Take apart something to figure out the principles on which it works. Yeah, I do that. Push your mental limits to complete an array of innovative achievements. Yeah. Quinlyn, what's your sex? Okay. I don't know what a sex is, but okay, female. Okay, here we go. Results. Extroverted intuiting. Okay, so that's my biggest one. NE. Let's see what that is. This is excellent use. NE. Noticing abstract patterns as they emerge and shifting a situation's dynamics and exploring imaginative potential possibilities. Yeah, okay, that's definitely me. So it looks like that's my dominant function. Introverted feeling, excellent use. Okay, so that is a 5. Adhering to personal beliefs about what's important. Evaluate situations and choose what you believe is congruent with your personal identity. Yeah, morals and principles and stuff. So it looks like, based on this, that my 4 main functions would be NE, then FI, then TI, and then SE. Apparently there's not a type for that. Okay. By focusing on the strongest configuration of cognitive processes, your pattern of response most closely matches ENFP. All right, Quinlyn, am I an ENFP? Is that what our type is? It got it right! Yay! Okay, so the functions quiz got it right. That's right, I am an ENFP. Woohoo! If these don't fit, consider INFP or ENTP. Okay, those were ones that other ones were guessing a lot of too. So yeah, you got it right. Okay, last one. And this one's going to be a lot longer, but it's probably a lot more definitive, and it seems to be the best one that I've found. Here we go. Okay, so lastly, there appears to be, this apparently isn't a quiz that you can actually click on. I'd have to write it down, so I'm going to be writing down my answers and scoring myself that way. Woo! So for each cognitive function, there are a list of statements. For each of those, rate yourself on a scale of 0 to 5. Okay, that one took a long time, so you guys can do that at home if you want, but I don't know, I added it all up, and apparently my, by far, most functional function is NE. So it seems like that one's most likely my dominant function, extroverted intuition, which means that the types that I could be are, those would be ENFP and ENTP. And if you just wanted to refer to those two concisely, you'd just call them ENXPs, because the X is the variable of the one that you don't know. Okay, cool. And since that one's higher than my NI score, I don't really count the NI score at all because it was not nearly as high as NE. So that means that that's not my second highest one. My second highest one is FI, which means what type am I? So this quiz definitely got your type right, and it definitely figured out your main function is NE, and then the next one is FI, which can only mean that you're an ENFP. Yeah! ENFP! Okay, I guess I got it right. The function one seemed like they are a lot better. People with dominant extroverted intuition have an infinite number of ideas and suggestions on how to make the future better. They can see several possible futures and lines of thought. They are great at brainstorming. Their minds shoot out new ideas faster than most people can absorb them, like a rapid-fire machine gun, but instead of bullets, it's new ideas and imagination. They are especially good at seeing how things, events, and people are connected. They can see the meaning behind people's actions. They tend to be very fast talkers who speak with fluidity and ease. When speaking, ideas come easily to them, and they rapidly turn into those into words, whole sentences, and complete stories. I do that. I just start talking, and then it just spirals that into anything, which you would definitely see in action if you watched any of my live streams. I mean, I've only done one so far, but if you watch more, then you'll see it happening. So definitely tune into the next one. So the two personality types where NE is dominant are ENFP and ENTP. And the two types where NE is auxiliary, meaning the second function, are INFP and INTP, which makes sense that I would get those on the other quizzes. That was fun! Now I'm going to let you go back to Quinlyn for some analysis about this, and we'll see what she thinks. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Bye! All in all, it seems that the function quizzes did a lot better. I tried a lot more, but this is going to be a super long video anyway. But in general, the function quizzes usually get it right, or at least close. And the MBTI ones can kind of be all over the place, but are usually at least somewhat something. So if you're trying to figure out what your type is, I'd say go with the functions. And don't just take exactly what the results are and be like, well, guess that's my type. Look up what each of the functions means and see if that actually applies to you. Sky got a high result for SE, which is extroverted sensing, but that's actually the function that I have the least developed. But my SE should not have scored that high, and a lot of it is because quizzes in general, online ways of determining what your type is, are going to be flawed. They're going to be faulty. They're not always going to be accurate. But not all of us can just hop up and go and get it professionally typed. So the best way is to take a functions quiz if you want that sort of thing, and read up on the functions and see how those work. And remember that when you read the functions, they're usually written in a way that would work if those are dominant. So try to figure out what your top two functions are. For example, my lowest function of my 4 is SI, and if I read a description of that, I'd be like, no way I have that. But that's the thing, it's my inferior function, so of course it's not going to seem like something that I feel like I have a lot of. It's complex, there's a lot more to it, but in the end it seems like function quizzes are the way to go, and determining your type based on cognitive functions is a lot easier, and then you can use that to help you determine what your letters are. Anyway, okay, so I'm all done with you. Thank you for your help, Sky. So now it's time to put Sky back into her regular personality and regular body. But to do that, I'm gonna have to kill her first, so I guess here we go. What? Huh, all done. Anyhoozles, hope you enjoyed this. If you're new here, subscribe to join the madness. Let me know in the comments what your types are, or what you think you are, or what you think about functions, etc., etc., etc. And as always, have a beautiful day full of magic and joy. Bye, guys! You caught my eye, and I've got a feeling I'm falling. Show me the ring and I'll jump right